requires, and the search team was just overjoyed to be able to offer him this position. And as you can see, he is a wildly talented musician, so I hope you will join me in welcoming him into our community during coffee hour. Okay. And thank you for that incredible music. It's really beautiful. My sour announcement is some of you know already, but I wanted to make sure everyone knows that our beloved board president, Beverly Rainbow, had a stroke this week on Wednesday. What day is it today? Friday. She contacted me to come get her at PT because she was having a dizzy spell, and we took her immediately to the ER. So she's been there all weekend. It's a small brain bleed, which seems to be under control. She doesn't need to have surgery, which is a huge relief. She hopefully will be discharged today following an MRI. So they're kind of waiting to get the MRI, and I think after that she'll be able to go home, which is great news. She is in good spirits. I just had a long and meaningful visit with her yesterday. The main problem is her vision. She's having trouble seeing. So text message is very hard for her. I would also like to discourage people from maybe overwhelming her with phone calls and check-ins right now. Let's get her home and settled, and then everyone will be in touch about what the community care plan is. I think rides especially will be helpful. But yeah, and I and the Vice President, Garrett Smith, will be trying to take off of Beverly's plate as much as possible to ease this transition and really encourage her to rest. So please join me in doing that. If you have something that you think that I or Bear can handle, just contact us directly. And she has sort of agreed to this verbally with me. So yes, please do keep Beverly in your thoughts and prayers, as well as her husband Michael. I'd be happy to answer any questions that people. I know this is a lot of information, so I'm happy in regular contact with her and her family. So please contact me or come talk to me after coffee hour if you have specific questions, rather than directing them at her or Michael. Like again, we really just want her to get as much rest as possible. But I'm sure once she's home, she'll want to receive calls, and I think having help with rides will probably be something, because this means once again that she will not be able to drive for a while, but Michael will be able to drive her. So I think that's a way that we can support. But you'll hear about that as well. So yeah, thank you.
If you join me, rise in spirit, or if you're willing and able, and say call to awareness in amends. This is in the inside cover of your gray hymnal. I will read the non-italicized font, and you will read the italicized font, please. We gather today at a crossroads. The place of many tongues. But we are newcomers to this land. Know that we gather
on land with sword,
the spoils of colonialism and broken treaties,
of forced removal and genocide.
Acknowledging this history is just the first step.
We must set ourselves to the task of repair.
Where we have harmed,
we seek to heal.
Where we have taken,
we seek to give.
Where we have disparaged,
we seek to honor.
Just as the flame of our chalice.
That's our way to beloved community.
We add life-giving water to earth.
To grow and to give roots and to nurture solidarity.
Only when we strive to make amends
do we affirm the inherent worth and dignity of each person.
If you would, say the chalice lighting that's in your hymnal, in your order of service with me, as we light the beloved chalice, a symbol of our heritage. Come into this place of peace, and let its silence heal your spirit. Come into this place of memory, and let its history warm your soul. Come into this place of prophecy and power, and let vision change your heart.
Please join me for the opening hymn, There is a Love. Feel free to rise or stay seated as we practice resting this morning. What are you going to do? We're going to sing it 3 times through.
You can come and put them up here on either of the little poles. On your way to coffee hour, please don't forget, but feel free to take a picture of it if you like. So on the first side, my rest affirmation says, I will do less, watch me thrive. And then on the other side, there's a rest practice. So you can bring this home, and this is to help you learn better how to practice resting, because it is a practice. When I went on vacation this summer, it took me like a week. And then at some point, I was sitting on a lounge chair looking at the ocean, and I was like, is this what relaxing feels like? I think this is relaxing. I think so. But it took me a whole week, and I had to leave the country and go sit by the ocean to do it. But I should be able to do this at home on a day off. I should be able to know how to rest after I go home from church and I work. I should learn how to rest. So this is as much a lesson for me as it is for you all. So look at your cards, read your affirmations, read your practice. Would anyone like to share their affirmation? I'll come around and we can share. Okay, let's see. Amy says, I am enough. The systems I live under are trash. I can rest. Very good. Who else would like to share their rest affirmation? Wonderful, Lane. Thank you. I am expansive. I will rest. Oh, it takes a lot of energy to be expansive, right? So we need rest so that we can do that. Who else? Oh, Jody? Okay, great. All right. Your affirmation is, I love this one. My dreams are enough. My existence is enough. I like this theme of I'm enough. I'm enough. I'm enough. Is everyone hearing this? I'm enough. I'm saying it to myself. I need this affirmation also. Thea, beautiful. There is no urgency. Ooh, I'm going to say that again. Everybody hear that? There is no urgency. There is no perfection. Whoa. Who heard that? Did you hear that? Okay, not everyone heard that. There is no perfection. I am enough now. Beautiful. Who else? Who else wants to share their affirmation? It's okay if it's private. No, just the affirmation. This is the practice. The practice, that's just for y'all. Y'all can take that home. I'm dyslexic. That's too many words for me to read out to y'all. Let rest be a delicious possibility. Who's going to go home and engage in this delicious possibility after church? No, just be 1, 2, 3, just 3. All right, y'all not really practicing that rest ministry. So we'll work on that. I think Reverend Sarah will help. Anybody else want to share? Ask me. We're here. Ooh, there are infinite ways to liberation. Infinite ways to liberation. Expand and rest now. Thanks, Glenn. Like I'll get more excited to participate. I don't belong on the grind. I will get off. Amen. All right, we got Kathy. This is fun. I like that we walk around. I will imagine what my body needs. I will daydream for freedom. Beautiful. Anybody else? Rest is a lifelong practice. Do you hear that? Everybody, ages 4 to 104, rest is a lifelong practice. It's very rewarding too. You rest and then you feel better. It's cool. It's not like, you gotta go do something. You're like, I'm gonna go train for a marathon. It's very rewarding. May I rest so deeply I forget time exists. Ooh, I want that. Yes. I am an escape artist. I am rest. Congratulations on your retirement, Claudia. Yes. Thank you, Sarah and Laurel. I am not lazy. Yes.
That again. Can we all say that? I am not lazy. Just because you're resting does not mean you are lazy. That is a lie. So please, when you are like trying to rest, you're like, I'm being lazy. Nope. I'm practicing rest ministry. Thank you, everyone. Can we all take a deep breath together and breathe in this feeling of rest? Okay, so keep your little cards close to you so you kind of digest them. And then please remember, these were loaned to us by our Vice President, Barrett Smith. So we want to make sure that we return so our Vice President gets the rest that they need to be able to handle the responsibilities of the President. So you can just put your little cards up here before you go to coffee hour, before you leave. Thank you so much. And if any of the young people want to go into the children's room, you're welcome to do that now. It is a door over there. So thank you, everybody. Blessed resting. We will in the future. Yes. Not today.
please join me in saying the responsive reading, which is located in your order of service. I'll say the non-italicized font, and then you would say the italicized font. We come together this morning to remind one another to resist the headlong tumble into the next moment, taking the time to look into one another's faces
and see their renewed reflection of our own eyes.
this community of laughter and silence, memory and hope is hallowed by our presence together.
Couple of disclaimers. I didn't write that. I think it was maybe not attributed, but I can find that out if you're pressed about it. Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm low. No, this is good. I'll just do this. Okay, I feel fine about this for now, but if it shifts, let me know. My second caveat is I'm not sure whether to read this or to preach about that prelude, because if you know, you know. Right? Okay, that'll be our secret. That'll be a sermon for a minute. But we're so glad to have you. That was really meaningful for some people. And also, my third caveat is I feel like we already rested. So I kind of feel like we could stop here and y'all would have gotten the point. But I want to just drive it home a little bit longer, so I guess I shall proceed. Writer Gloria, this week, I felt called to refresh it, to do a little remix to it. In the original one, I talked about dancing a lot more, which we'll talk a little bit about today. But today I'm translating dance as rest. So I actually want to reread the quote. Though we tremble before uncertain futures, may we meet illness, death, and adversity with strength. May we rest in the face of our fears. Already I know. Some of you are thinking that this is the most absurd thing we could be doing right now. That there is so much to do. I know. And guess what? We are actually doing all of the things. But hear me out. Although the election and the general state of the world feels like the biggest and most compounding of disasters, the truth is that this empire will not be here forever. I once met a woman who wore a coin from the British colony of India to remind herself that empires fall. Inevitably, capitalism will crumble. And while we can help it along, it's not really going to crumble because of the thing that Barrett does singularly. Or what Sarah does singularly. One day, the lies of white supremacy will be obvious to all. One day, with our help, of course, but not to our credit, borders will cease to exist. I think we are already seeing some of these inbreakings of heaven here on earth. There are some in this city and in our country who are doing their best to ensure their futures by enclosing their wealth at the expense and poverty of others. They are building proverbial ships or things in the sky. But I know it will cost them more than they can ever imagine. We will need to be praying for them and loving them through their own transition. But for me and mine, we have a wealth and abundance of wisdom in freedom writers and thinkers like Gloria and Zaldua. And this wisdom is how we will survive. But the tools and complex systems of domination are tricky. Okay, my favorite new Netflix movie, which I know is why you all all came to church. It's called The Deliverance. Have you seen it scroll across your thing? It's like an exorcism movie, and I don't really do them, but everyone was talking about it, so I felt like I needed to not miss out. But anyways, they get to the point, the climax of the movie, and the evangelist is there to do the deliverance, and she's talking to the mother of the child who's having the demon removed. And she says, now be careful. First of all, get back. Secondly, this demon is going to appear as things that you love and think care about you. And then she starts. This little boy starts steaming, and the little boy turns into her mother who had just passed. And her mother is just saying all these awful things. And it's hurtful when your mother is telling you all these things, but it's really the demon. It's really this entity. It's so creepy. I think that's what our systems do. We've seen, even in our lifetimes, white supremacy, capitalism, reinvent itself as things we love. Take a moment. Can you think about when you almost got lured in by the sexiness of capitalism or white supremacy or power, because it was offering you something, or it was reflecting back to you something that you really wanted, like you got to be part of this club? Can y'all think of that? Let that sort of ruminate. But in the movie, the main character has a moment where the demon starts attacking her, and she draws on her spiritual power to resist and expel the demon. The first thing that happens is that she is still. And that's the moment that I want to focus on today, with the help of the NAP Bishop, Tricia Hersey. Now, I love calling people bishops. Pastor Sean down at First Grace, he calls me, he says, Reverend Doctor. I said, Bishop? I don't know if he likes it, but it's fun. So the NAP Bishop, Tricia Hersey, says that your body, our bodies, are a site of liberation. It doesn't belong to capitalism. Love your body, rest your body, move your body, hold your body. What do you think about now? A skill that you have learned and can now do without much thought. It can be, honestly, something as simple as walking. But some of you might be sewists or dancers, or you got something that you can kind of, if someone asks you to do, you can kind of just like whip it out. And weeding your garden or cooking. As we learn skills like those and progress and mature into them, we rely more and more on muscle memory to accomplish that task. But to do so, we kind of have to let our bodies do the thing. We have to trust our bodies. It's not always something that comes easy, because as Tricia is talking about, and we talked about a little bit this morning, we're in this society that really prides itself on separating us from the wisdoms that our body holds. But that is what we are called to do, is to draw on that wisdom. We are called to know the difference between pain and uncomfort, between harm and a challenge. And additionally, it's our job to know when it's time to rest. Trusting our bodies and its stillness and rest is resistance. Just in case you didn't hear it the first, second, or third time. Aside from my body, I also learned about resistance through thinking about water. My dad, born and raised in New Orleans, in St. Roch, as was his parents, was a swimmer. I was fortunate enough to learn from him many techniques, and at my summer camp, at the New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary, which is a very fun story. We spent hours in the pool each day, playing games and soaking up all of the sun and chlorine. I'm so grateful for the opportunities and the memories I had that taught me not to be afraid of the water, but that in fact, we are held in awe of it by water. In every significant moment of my life, water has been present. I've been fortunate to be baptized over and over in pools and bayous and lanes and lakes, even as recent as this week. I was taught resistance by the water because I was never alone and felt held. I learned to interact with the water, and I interacted with God. Asking questions of it, praising it, arguing with it, learning from it, and about it. I learned most importantly that resistance looks like knowing where to place one's anger. And where the anger does not belong is in the water. Resistance looks like thinking about hurricanes as not the failure of the water doing just what waters do, but of the systems that impact the most vulnerable. So I must admit, I got a little angry this week. I got angry on Tuesday because the whole city was preparing for this storm, myself included. I got angry because I had to bring a meal to preschool on Tuesday so that I could prep, which meant that the daycare workers had to be at work, which meant that they could not prep. I hated it. That was the choice that I had to make. Then I got angry on Wednesday during the middle of the storm. I was getting emails from the gym and about this social club in the CBD about opening at 10 a.m. on Thursday. I was mad on behalf of the workers who are parents, who were expected to, perhaps without problem, show up and be productive. Honestly, I was fuming. There are tears now, but I was fuming. Had we not learned from Katrina, but also from COVID, just not that long ago. I was reminded that I learned not to be angry at the water, but angry at the system, because the water is still here. After all is said and done, still cleansing, still showering, still shifting. The water was the body that taught me that I am held in community and deserve to be transformed over and over again. In Trisha's words, you are not unworthy. The systems are unworthy. You, Jelani, are not unworthy. The systems of capitalism are unworthy. But we all deserved on Thursday and Friday, at the least, was rest. But we are also not always passive recipients or victims of these systems. That too was against our call as Unitarian Universalists. So let's ask this question: who here is in charge of other people, like employees or students or your kids, people in your care? Okay, some of us. Who here is in charge of yourself? Okay, if you don't fall in one of those categories, please get at me in coffee hour and we can fix that. So everyone in here, unless I missed something, is in charge of at least one person. So we all have a responsibility. And in this conversation, perhaps competing responsibilities. My mother-in-law is a small business owner. Oh, and she hates when I call her with workers. Because my kid's dad, I was like, so you're gonna take off and maybe bring them to Atlanta? And he was like, I can't, I'm hourly. His mom said, well, you know, it's one thing if the business owner says you can go, but workers can't be trying to do their own safety. So I get funny conversations like that from her. So I want to honor competing responsibilities, but not to the expense, as a Unitarian Universalist, I have a responsibility or call to put love at the center of everything we do. To be conduits of liberation through transformation, generosity, and equity, to name a few. But on today, I would love for you to join me in making a pledge. Ooh, we don't want to do pledges in UUism, but here we are, doing new things. Because there may be another storm on the way, or another disaster we feel called to rush to or fix, as if we are the magic token. Even the election. I've been thinking about how we win well, how we make it to the end of the year with something of our spirit still intact, regardless of outcomes. I think these words from Bishop Tricia will help us stay focused on the task at hand. So, if you dare, repeat after me. There's a little bit of a, you don't know what to say. But it's not all or nothing. If it resonates, say it. If it doesn't, don't. I refuse to push my body. To the brink of exhaustion and destruction. Let the chips fall where they may. I trust myself. More than capitalism. Our refusal will make space for abundance. May it be so. Amen. You gotta work on this obedience. That's not it.
Now time for our offertory. Thank you for listening.
If you would stay seated and read the offertory acknowledgement that's in our order of service. This gift from the abundance of my life blesses me, our ministries, and the world. Unless there are any other announcements, the only announcement is that we could please use someone to do coffee hour next week. He will not be here. If you can help, please see E.B. Wolf. And please do coffee hour for us. And if you please rise in body or spirit, and we'll do chalice lighting. We'll say the words together. That's in your order, sir. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Remain as you are for our last hymn, number 1011. Return again. Peace running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the infinite peace to you. May it be so, and may it be coffee time. Turn and greet your neighbors.